Jackknife, what is up? Give me 1 second, good sir, to tweet this out. All right. Geico, what is up? Here, let me go ahead and split this screen again. Okay, that's cool. As long as I can still see the chat. Dark Side Havoc, what is up? I got a split screen going on here. I'm watching. I got my page up on one side, so I can keep my eye on the chat, and then the other on the other screen, I'm watching the FIA GT Sport Championships. This streaming live right now. And this is the championships where, some of the best players in the world that play GT Sport come together for this championship. And in fact, one of the guys that I subscribe to, Z28 Gaming, he plays GT Sport, and he's really good at the game. And he recently went on a trip to Las Vegas to I think to compete, in the championships there. And once he got home, he made a video saying that he had a chance to go to Monaco. What is up, Phil Spencer? How you doing, my man? How you doing, buddy? Hey, sit back and enjoy yourself, Phil. We're gonna have a great show today. But anyway, back what I was saying about Z28 Gaming. He had a chance to go to Monaco to further compete in this championship, but he was debating about whether to go or not, and he was leaning towards not going because he said it was just like he just didn't have any time he barely had time to rest. He didn't, have time to, get practice time in on the game because it was like, one thing after another that he had to do, related to this championship. So I sent him a message and I was trying to encourage him to go because I wanted to see how he would stack up against the world's best drivers. And another guy that I sub to was the Key 25. I don't know if he's in the championship or not, but I hope he is because he's really good and his videos are really good too. It's like watching an episode of Speed Week. So anyway, Spartan God, what is up? Impatient Fire, what is up? So, Arian Drake, what is up? So let me go through the the propers. Yo, what's good? It's your boy Lincoln Glade coming back at you. You know what time it is. Hit the like button, hit the bell icon. The rest will take care of itself. If you are a new subscriber to the channel, welcome to the channel. I hope you are enjoying yourself. Christopher Hart, what is up? Of course, the bots are trashing Sony last night. I'm gonna get to that. And it's because I got so much stuff to talk about. I couldn't put it all in the title. This is like some of the shit that's being said in the aftermath of Sony not going to E3 is just absolutely ridiculous. But we'll get to that later on. Riyadh Dewan, what's up? So, what are my topics? The first thing I want to, talk about. Well, first things first, I want to apologize for not being at the round table last night. I got home, I played some Creed, took a nap with the intentions of getting up a couple hours later. I woke up at 9 o'clock and I'm thinking, okay, I'll join the round table here shortly. Went back to sleep. Next thing you know, I woke up and it was 4 a.m. and I had to get ready for work. So I guess I must have been super tired. So my apologies for missing the round table. Riyadh Dewan, you said Sony Castle at E3 had a big impact. Of course, and I'm gonna tell you why it had a big impact on everybody. You, me, everybody, but for a bunch of different reasons. And I'll get to that too. When you're on top, fools want to see you fail. Can't wait to see, can't wait for Sony to shit on these clowns. Oh, they're getting shitted on right now. But they refuse to stay buried under that shit. They keep trying to dig their way out of it. Christopher, Arian Drake, you're telling Christopher these Xbots realize this calm before the storm for what Sony really got planned. Exactly. When a you know when a company elects to not be an E3 and tell you, that they're looking for more innovative ways to reach people, and they say they can't tell you what their plans are, for 2019, they're getting ready to drop a bomb. So believe me, these dudes gonna be shell shocked, when Sony dropped that bomb on them, because they're gonna do more than drop the PS5 on them. They're gonna, announce some games to go with it, because I think Sony is gonna try to be better prepared for this next generation than they did, say, the PS3 generation, or even this generation, because this is probably gonna be the biggest and best and most powerful console that Sony has ever created. And I'm sure they want this thing to get off to a good start, in terms of having content. So yes, I expect Sony to drop a bomb on them. So Saris is great. What is up, my man? But we'll come back to that too. I want to stay on track with the subjects, even though I'm not going to do them in particular order. Since Sony isn't going to E3, we're going to kick ass at E3 2019 with games and Xbox Scarlet. Phil Spencer, my man. Nobody's going to be on that stage to compete with you. So I guess I assume you're going to kick ass. At least the opportunity is there. But anyway, first things first, I want to give a shout out to Survios. Survios are the developers of the Creed VR, Creed VR game. They came out with a patch about a week and a half ago, and it fucked the game up, and I couldn't find a quick match for shit. And I decided I wasn't going to sit around and wait for them to do something about it. So I emailed them and told them what was happening, and they were pretty good. They responded to me quick. They were asking me details. They were asking me to give them details of what I was experiencing, so they could pass that on to the development team. So I kept them informed of what I was doing, and they were responding back. And so finally, when I heard back, the last email I got from them was a couple of days ago, and they said that the development team was, testing a patch that was supposed to fix the issue, and they would, let me know when the patch was going to go live, and they didn't get, I ended up getting the patch before they even contacted me. I came home and just on a whim decided to check for updates, and there was an update there, and I tried it, and within 3 seconds I had a match. So the clock is still goofy on the game. The clock still freezes, but even though the clock froze, I was still able to get a match in. And needless to say, the dude was a jerk. He was doing a jack off motion in front of my face and shit like that, and giving me the throat slash like he was going to fuck me up or something. And when I knocked his ass out, he started crying. So now that Creed appears to be working again, I'll be back to doing my Creed streams, talking shit and stuff like that. So Christopher Hart, you said you bought Creed and Electronauts on sale for PSN. Hey, Creed is definitely a good pickup. It is definitely a great game for cardio, man. So if you want to burn some calories, Creed is a great game for that. Electronauts, I can't say anything about that because I bought Track Lab, and after watching videos of both of them, I was led to believe that Electronauts was one of those games where they're providing music from bands and just letting you tweak the music and remix it and do anything you want with it. Whereas Track Labs appeared to let you create your own music, which I did that. And I'll go back and, whatever song it was I was working on, I'll go back and, fuck with it sooner or later. Impatient Fire, you knocked them out just like Sony about to knock Microsoft and the Xbox out. They've been knocked out. They've been knocked out. It's just that, they get knocked out. They sleep for about 2 seconds. They wake up talking shit, even though they still in the daze and still staggering all over the place. They've been knocked out. They just never shut their mouth. That's all it is. So, and Phil, even though I may not acknowledge you every time, I may not respond to every one of your comments, I know you there, and I'm so glad you could join us. So Dark Side Havoc. I bought like six discounted games from PSN for like $32. These sales, hey, you ain't joking, Dark Side. Man, it's like, that's why, like, all of us, anybody who got a PlayStation probably got a backlog that they know they're not probably going to be able to finish before the next generation takes off, but they keep on having these flash sales, and there's so much shit in there that you just can't pass it up. So, trying to think, yeah, for the most part. Hey, Christopher Hart, if you got a YouTube channel, you should stream some of those tracks once you get some beats put together. And I'd love to see what you got put together. Ice Queen Gaming, please forgive me for not acknowledging when you first came in here. How are you doing, miss? Phil Spencer, I'm glad you could be with us amongst the ponies. So anyway, anyway, I contacted Survios once the Creed, multiplayer, once the multiplayer was working. And I told him I'd give him a shout out. So this is my shout out to Survios. I thanked him on it, over an email, but I told him I definitely would give him a shout out on YouTube. So I definitely want to give a shout out to Survios for fixing that problem, for keeping me in the loop of what was going on, getting details about what was going on so they could, get to the heart of the problem and address it. I definitely appreciate Survios, staying in contact with me and not treating me like cattle and shit like that, like I'm just another person that got their money and move on. I'm glad they were in contact with me and wanted to know the situation. So, I thanked them over an email, and they said, they sent me an email back, thanking them for giving them details on what the problem was so they could try to, track it down and fix it. So I definitely appreciate that. So shout out to Survios. Really appreciate it. Thanks, Survios. And so next topic I want to talk about is Ace Combat 7 for the PlayStation VR. I believe this game is coming out in January. Just a minute. Let me Google it real quick. No. I don't want to do that. So I don't want to do that because I got a page here on another topic that I want to talk about. Definitely. And I will talk about that I'll talk about that subject next. But Ace Combat 7, I believe it's coming out in January. So I saw a video from Grumpy Age Gaming. Grumpy Aging Gaming, excuse me. I believe he's a subscriber to my channel. I subbed to his channel. He's a big supporter of PlayStation VR, and he put a video up today, showing some customization modes for Ace Combat 7 that's going to allow you to customize your plane, customize your jets on Ace Combat 7, which I think is really, really cool. But more than that, I hope the customization mode is a sign that they would have multiplayer coming to that. So how cool would that be to be in a fighter jet and have that multiplayer mode and be in an actual dogfight with other jets? Because I remember a game that came out on the Xbox 360 called Over G that I really liked that game. It was a multiplayer game, and actually this game came out before Ace Combat. You had missions on there, but the multiplayer part of the game, there was a couple of cool aspects of it. You take off from your base, and you try to find these carriers or battleships and try to bomb them. And then but the thing about it is, like, once your plane runs low on fuel, you're supposed to return to your base, get refueled and get restocked with missiles and stuff, and then take back off for your next mission. This was all online multiplayer. That was so cool. But the fucked up part about that game was that every time dudes would use up all their missiles, they would crash their planes on purpose so they could respawn from the beginning instead of having to fly all the way back. But Impatient Fire, if Ace Combat 7 had a multiplayer, even a 4-player multiplayer, that would be so cool, and hey, if the game doesn't launch with a multiplayer, I'm going to contact the developers and run that past them. I mean, they may not answer somebody like me because they're a much bigger developer than Survios, so a company like Survios, I assume that they're dependent on VR for their existence, since they develop VR games, and since the VR genre isn't like super big, they it's in their best interest to listen um, to feedback. So, but in any case, with the VR Ace Combat thing, if it doesn't launch with multiplayer, I'm definitely gonna email them and see if something like that is in the works. So I definitely hope that would be so cool. Ace Combat 7, it's already gonna be cool to be in a fighter jet anyway. Because I go on YouTube and I watch the I'm out. I got some studios to acquire. Hey, Phil, do it right this time. Don't go fucking with those bootleg double A, wristwatch studios that's, building shit for wristwatches. Go out and get a triple A studio. I mean, spend some real money. If you can't go out and acquire some studios, build one from the ground up. Build another initiative. In fact, build 3 or 4 initiatives. In fact, fuck going out looking for them studios. Because in my opinion, if you ain't gonna fuck with somebody like EA or something like that, don't waste your time going looking for studios. Build one from the ground up. Build a AAA studios and stop fucking with these bootleg studios. You hear me? All right, man. I'll catch you later, Phil. Now get on out there. In the words of Deadpool, now get out there and make a difference. Wanye too there. What's up? What's up? So yeah, to wrap that up, there is a customization mode on Ace Combat 7. And that would be so cool if they have a multiplayer mode to be able to fly in a fighter jet. That's cool anyway, because as I was saying, when you use a PlayStation VR and you watch the YouTube version of it, it is so cool to watch those videos of being on board a fighter jet with these dudes, taking off on these fighter jets. Reclaimer, what's up? Seeing these dudes take off from an aircraft carrier in VR and stuff like that. That shit is so cool. So how cool would that be to be able to play Ace Combat 7, multiplayer? That would be so cool. Fatal Charade, you said as long as Microsoft stays away from Stardock or Robot Gentleman, I'm good. All right. Also, I think the next topic I want to talk about before we get to the Sony aftermath shit, and part of me don't even feel like talking about it. Just the shit that's been flying around about that shit. Some of it is just like absolutely ridiculous, and I almost can't believe that. Part of me don't even feel like talking about it, but we will get to that. But before I do, I also want to talk about another VR game that has caught my attention. And it is a fighting game called Boxing Apocalypse. And it's like they act like it's a Fight Club type of game. You're an alien like in a space prison, and they got some Fight Club shit going on in there where you're fighting other aliens, and it is player versus player. So I'm definitely going to pick it up because it's player versus player. But rather than I've seen videos, I've seen trailers of the game, and it just looks like any other fighting game. But but after reading this, it's more than a fighting game. It almost sounds like it's based on this article I'm reading. It gives me the impression that it's almost a Street Fighter, Tekken type game. So let me read this for y'all. Also, this game comes out November 20th. So I'm and it's going to sell for $20. So I'm definitely going to pick that up. But to read about this game, it says Gotham City Films announces the November 20th, 2018 North American release of Boxing Apocalypse for Sony PlayStation VR for $19.99. Worldwide release December 11, 2018. Game created and designed by Mario Simone, owner of Gotham City Films. So it says strap on your PSVR and teleport to an alien space prison and fight your friends in this fast-paced arcade-style action combat VR game. Boxing Apocalypse integrates a unique and precise fight system which is very responsive and intuitive, with energy shields for quick counter combos, weapons for deadly kills, and customizable armor and gauntlet upgrades to create your own unique warrior. Campaign allows you to fight through 5 levels of the alien horde to defeat the boss and wear the crown to win the game. Battle your friends in your own Fight Club tournaments and feel the adrenaline rush of this fast-paced combat system. I can't wait. So I'm definitely looking forward to this. So, so now, you know, that'll be another game that's going to be fun. That'll be another game where I'll be able to talk some shit, and it'll be another game where I'll be able to get some cardio in. So with that being said, you know, it's like, you know, between Boxing Apocalypse, Creed, and I just picked up Spark a few days ago, I'm always going to be playing something that's going to be able to, you know, burn some calories. Shit. In fact, on PSVR Frank, you know, one of his latest videos, Reunion, what's up? See what we got here. Just a minute. I got to respond. Give me a second, people. Okay. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to this Boxing Apocalypse. As I was saying, between that game, Creed, Spark, you know, Spark is a pretty fun game. Hand-eye coordination, handball, you know, racquetball type of game. It's actually pretty good. Mac, what is up, my man? So I'm really looking forward to that. And I'm telling y'all, man, like with all these games that I keep picking up on VR, I think now the way things are now, about 80% of the games that I play are PlayStation VR games, not to mention the Tetris, you know, and you know, if there's a little bit of drift. Well, the last time I played Tetris, I really didn't experience any drift. So it must have had to be a situation with the lighting, because I guess it can't be completely light in the room and it can't be completely dark. So, you know, Tetris is for all these games that I got for PlayStation VR. I've totally forgot about all this 4K HDR shit because I'm having so much fun playing games on my PlayStation VR. I play the majority of my games on my PlayStation VR. And that's one of the reasons why I've been dragging my feet about getting another TV. Technically, I don't need a TV. I have a 65-inch, even if it's a budget 4K TV, a Hisense H6 series. It's still 4K. It still has HDR, even if it is fake HDR. But I have a 55-inch in the a 65-inch in the living room, a 55-inch in the bedroom, and you know, because of how much I play VR, I really don't need another TV. But I'm going to get one. You know, and I'm trying to decide whether I'm going to, you know, I'm probably going to get a Samsung Q6. Okay, I'm probably going to get one of those Q TVs, one of those Samsung's QLED TVs, and you know, PlayStation VR makes me ignore my TV too. I can relate. The patient fires, nothing better than being more immersed in the game. And I almost promise you, when the PSVR 2 comes along for the PlayStation 5, if they give us the kind of experiences that I'm hoping for, I probably won't be playing flat screen shit anymore. You know, damn near everything I buy will be VR. Sarah says, great. Absolutely. I'm getting Ace Combat 7 for the VR. I don't know if you came in late, but I was talking about, you know, Ace Combat 7 is going to have a customization mode for your planes. And I'm hoping that customization mode means that there will probably be a multiplayer at some point. That's what I'm hoping for, because how cool would that be for, you know, to be able to, you know, get in there and fight live against other people, you know, in a jet. How cool would that be? But as far as what kind of TV I'm talking about getting, you know, these OLED TVs look amazing, you know, and then, you know, the Q series, these QLED TVs, you know, they got the Q6, Q7, Q8, and Q9, and all of them look great. But I definitely saw a difference between the Q6 and the Q9. Because of what size TV I want to buy, I'm probably going to end up getting the Q6, which still is an amazing looking TV, even though it's at the bottom of the Q series. Because and the other thing is, with me having 65-inch TVs, I can't go backwards. I got a 65-inch TV in my bed in my living room right now. I cannot go down to a 55-inch TV. I just can't. That shit feels like having a 32-inch TV. So whatever I get, it's got to be at least a 65-inch TV. Now, what I'm looking at, I've got it narrowed down to about 3 TVs. I'm looking at getting the 65-inch Q6, the Q6F, which is selling for about $1,300 right now for a 65-inch TV. I'm also, debating about, the Sony. I think it's like the XF 850 or something like that. 65-inch TV that's going for about $1,400. And the other TV, and this is all a matter of whether I want to drop some serious dough or not. I'm also thinking about getting a 75-inch Q6, and that 75 inches $2,000. And truth be told, that is a lot of dough for a TV that I don't need. But god damn, would it be so fun to have a 75-inch TV in your crib? Damn, a 75-inch TV. Guy code, you would get that Sony A1 OLED. Of course, mobile games are trash. But guy code, see, the thing that this is what I'm working with. I've got anywhere, a Spartan God, though. I want to hear a joke. Sure, Spartan God, go ahead. But guy code about the TV thing, I've got about 1,000. I got anywhere between 1,000 and $2,000 to spend. The money isn't an issue because I got money tucked away. But I try to weigh the pros and cons of how much do I need this TV, how bad do I want this TV, and then the big factor is whatever I get, it's got to be a 65-inch, no less. That's Misi. What's up? Okay, Spartan guy, let's see your joke. It says E3 without Sony PlayStation. You said Days Gone is going to flop. I don't think so. You have to keep in mind, Spartan God, when Sony puts out a game, they don't have the kind of expectations Microsoft does. Sony does not put out a game with the expectations of the game, Saku Karhu. Yes, PR is worth it, especially this coming Black Friday, because you're gonna have they got bundles now. They've got the Astrobot, you get the PlayStation VR headset, the camera, a copy of Astrobot, and a copy of Moss. That's gonna go for $200. And then you got the other bundle that comes with the headset, the camera, 2 Move controllers, a copy of Creed, and a copy of Super Hot. That's going to sell for $250. I recommend that bundle because because of the Move controllers. Because these Move controllers sell for $100 by themselves. Because your birthday's coming up, you'll get it after Christmas. Okay. Now keep in mind, I would recommend you get it on Black Friday because both of these bundles are $100 off. They sell for $300 and $350 respectively. And so I would recommend getting it on Black Friday if you can help it. And I would recommend the Creed Super Hot bundle because it comes with a pair of Move controllers, and those sell for $100 by themselves, the Move controllers. And more and more fighting games are going to be coming up, like this boxing apocalypse that I just mentioned along, and I love Creed, this boxing apocalypse sound like it's going to be so cool. Abdil, what's up? Said Days Gone is going to be lit. I feel it's going to be on the Last of Us level. The crazy part about it is, out of all these big exclusives that Sony has for 2019, I think Days Gone is going to do the worst in terms of sale. Now, I think the game is going to do great, but I think the other games are going to do better. And then back to what I was saying about whether you said Skyrim. Yeah, I've got Skyrim. Sprint Vector. I don't have that one. Beat Saber comes out. Damn. Um, you thinking me? Spartan God? Okay. Let me see. You said Sony TVs are too damn expensive. Days gonna be, Days gonna die fast because other news will overshadow it. It's coming out in April, so the only, in my opinion, the only thing that can overshadow the release of Days Gone is Sony and Microsoft announcing their new consoles, depending on when that happens, because there might be a lot of buzz around that. But other than that, I think Days Gone is going to do fine because they wisely moved the game to a time when there isn't going to be any other games out there. So I think that was a smart move on Sony's part. Only company that will be the next Naughty Dog is Guerrilla Games or Sony Santa Monica. Okay. Have I tried the Vive? I've only tried the Vive once, Saku. A guy I used to work with invited me over to this place to try the Vive. And he, truth be told, he had a lot of the same kind of games that you would see at the PlayStation store. So to me, Oculus and Vive, I don't feel like their games are on a much higher level than the PlayStation games in terms of the exclusives. But it was noticeably clear in terms of clarity. It was noticeably clear. But the next generation is going to be a different story. So can you tell the difference between Vive and PlayStation? Yeah, you can. So I'm not going to lie there, but keep in mind though, that Vive headset, I don't know what it costs now, but I know a couple of years ago that Vive headset cost $700, and then you had to spend at least $1,000 to build a computer strong enough to push it. So you're looking at $1,700. Now, keep in mind, Saku, this coming Black Friday, you can get a PlayStation 1 terabyte Slim along with Spider-Man for $200. And you can get that VR bundle that I just mentioned for $200. So you can get the VR and a PlayStation to power it, and you can still play games on that PlayStation as well for $400. That is a can't miss. You cannot beat that. And in PlayStation, yes, it is good. And then some of the games on there, like on the VR, like games that I definitely recommend is like Firewall. You got to get the aim controller, but Firewall, if you're looking for a tactical shooter, this is basically Rainbow Six in VR. So I would definitely recommend. I would definitely recommend Firewall. I would recommend Astrobot. If you like fighting games, I would recommend Creed, and I'm hoping that this Boxing Apocalypse turns out to be a good game. And you're 13, Saku? All right. Then I understand your situation if if you're getting it for Christmas. Good luck with that. I hope everything works out with that. So, gosh, I forgot. I know I was talking about Boxing Apocalypse, and that's definitely. Oh, I know what else I was going to say. Somebody listed off Beat Saber. Beat Saber is also coming out on the 20th. So that's two games that I will be buying on the 20th. I will be buying Boxing Apocalypse, and I will be buying Beat Saber, and I will stream them both. So those are definitely two games that I'm looking forward to. I'm still watching this FIA Championship on the other screen. I know Socrates, I forgot his total name, Socrates. He hit me up on YouTube and was said that'd be pretty cool if I did a live reaction, and I didn't think my internet would be fast enough to do a live reaction stream and all that good stuff. You said, where did the audio go? You lost some audio? All that good stuff. So, audio's fine over here, so it's got to be on your part, Saku. And now, Geico, you said I bought all the games I wanted for the rest of the year. Now I'll wait for Anthem. I'm not done yet because there's still more VR games coming out. As I guy code as I was saying, I'm picking up Beat Saber, and I'm picking up Boxing Apocalypse on Tuesday when it comes out. What do I think are the top 5 best VR games? As of the moment, there's a lot of them. So whatever 5 that I tell you, Saku, don't cut that into concrete, because I can tell you one thing today and tell you something, different tomorrow. But right now, off the top of my head, I would say Firepoint is a great game, is a great VR game. Firewall, Astrobot, those are definitely heavy hitters too. And so let me see. Let me think of 2 other games that I think are pretty good VR games. Sony should be thanking you for the good and free PSVR talk. Hey, I would think, I would think that, seriously, I think that if my channel was on the level of a PSVR Frank or something like that, I think Sony would have contacted me by now. Does Beat Saber has a physical release, Entertainment Wizard? I don't know. Yeah, Saku, I'm definitely going to stream, on Tuesday. I'm going to make sure everything I need to do, I'm going to get it out of the way Monday. We do have the Roundtable podcast on Tuesday, which starts at 9 p.m. Eastern, but I want to get everything I need to do out of the way on Monday so I can go ahead and stream those games on Tuesday. So definitely keep your eyes out for that. I will stream Beat Saber and I will stream Boxing Apocalypse on Tuesday. So Saku, I gave you Firepoint, I gave you Firewall, and I gave you Astrobots. Even though I haven't finished it, this is just, I'm not saying this, is PSVR dying? Oh no, PSVR is getting ready to hit its stride. It's leading the market right now. They've got over 3 million headsets sold. And then and I expect that number to increase significantly, for Black Friday. So VR ain't going nowhere. Sony's investing into the VR heavily for the next generation. So PlayStation VR ain't going nowhere. And think about it. Look how long Sony supported the Vita, even though that struggled. Saku, think about it for a second. They have almost 100 million PlayStation sold. But if every single owner of a PlayStation bought every single game that was out, every single developer would have 100 million units sold. Not everybody's going to buy everything. But when you stop and think how that PlayStation VR launched at $500 for it to be sitting at over 3 million sold, I think it's phenomenal. But you said, but if I buy this gen, is the PSVR going to release a new one? Yeah, it's gonna come, but I don't think it's gonna come for a couple of years. My belief is that the PS5 is gonna release in 2019, but I think the PlayStation VR 2 isn't gonna come for until 2020. If I had to guess, I think that your current VR is gonna work, is gonna carry over to the PlayStation 5. In fact, a lot of the games you run now that you have now for the current VR, if they carry over to the PS5, they'll probably run better. So I think this is the perfect time to buy a VR. $200, you're still going to get a couple of years use out of it, maybe even longer if it's going to carry over to the PS5. You may even get longer use out of it. Sony has made VR very, very affordable at $200, when you catch one on sale. And as I was saying, if you would have, built a PC and bought a Vive headset, you're looking at $1,700. No way I'm dropping that kind of money. So Lincoln, you think that baked into the PS5 is false? No, I think it's true. The only way I think Sony's going to have some kind of breakout box for the processor box for the PS5 for the next iteration of the VR is if it's wireless and is not, and they can't make it possible to work without a processor box. But I do believe it about the VR technology being baked into the console. Not to mention you saw the patent for you saw the patent. I'd like to think you saw the patent when they showed two VR headsets connected wirelessly to one base, presumably the PS5. So, I believe that the PS5 is going to have the ability to connect two VR headsets to one console wirelessly, allowing two people in the same room to be able to play VR off the same console, which I think is going to be phenomenal. I think Saku, I think whatever limitations the current VR has, I think the next VR is going to go leaps and bounds past it. So I'm really excited about the next VR. I wish the thing was out already, but we got to wait. So, I guess while we're on the subject, Sony, let's finally go ahead and talk about this E3 aftermath. Yeah, Danny Rose, the PS5 is going to destroy the competition. Saku, if you want to play VR, I suggest you do it now because I do want to warn you. Like right now, you can catch the current VR for $200. When the PSVR 2 launches for the PS5, I'm willing to bet it's going to launch somewhere between $400 and $500. It's going to have much better technology than the current VR that we have right now, and it's probably going to be wireless. What a ton of features. So I think if you want to play VR now, I say go ahead and do it. But if you want to wait a couple of years from now and spend $400 or $500, and you got the patience to wait a couple of years, then so be it. But I think it's still good tech. I love it. So I think for $200, Players United, what's up? I think for $200 for a hobby that would normally cost, you get $30 a week. Hey, start saving that money. You get 30 euros a week. I don't know what that translates to in American money, but hey, start saving it. Sick humor. Yo, what's good, my man? So now that we got all this VR stuff out of the way, let's talk about the aftermath of Sony's E3. And as everybody who still lives on planet Earth knows, that Sony will not be at E3. Yo, you told him sick. All right. So I was really looking forward to, I gave my belief as to why I thought Sony wasn't going to be at E3. And just to recap, I think it was a couple of things. I think E3 isn't that important to Sony anymore. When you stop and look at it, I think E3 is losing some of its pizzazz. I said that. Developers are showing up, displaying mobile games. Oh, yeah, sick. Of course you can jump in. Hold on. Copy. Let me go over to Twitter. Messages. Okay, there you go, sick. I put it in the PlayStation Plus podcast. My guards will be at Sector 21 to await your arrival. You've got the coordinates. You know the proper flight pattern. We will see you when you reach Wakanda. Okay. You said if Vive Pro is a 10 out of 10, how much would you give the cardboards, PSVR, and Oculus Rift? I've never tried Oculus before, and I don't know anything about these cardboard VRs. I've never tried them based on. Um, I would give the PlayStation VR a 8. We've got an echo, so I think there looks like Sector 21 is open. So we have a visitor.
Hey,
Wakanda.
I don't know if you can hear me, if I'm coming through loud and clear, or if I'm chopping up or whatever. But I'm not gonna be here real long. I just wanted to come in and say, I told you if you throw shit at the wall long enough, eventually something is gonna stick. Right?
Yep.
Let me show you why I say that, dog. I'm finna take you back to one of my videos from 2014. And apparently, I apparently I'm a psychic, or I got like, an insider. You know how that shit go.
Yep.
So let me go ahead and put this up here. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, go ahead and talk, bro. I'll tell you when I. Oh, nope, I found it.
Okay. All
right. So real quick, not to take up too much of your time because I know you.
No, we good. I've got about an hour before I got to leave to go pick up my son.
Oh, for sure. All right, I'm gonna put a video in your chat, and I want you to play the video.
I can play the video, but I've tried that kind of stuff before. I can play the video, but there ain't going to be any sound.
Oh shit, that's crazy.
Well, I don't think the Google Hangout allows you to do that, does it?
It does.
Or it will allow me to play a video with the sound for everybody.
Yeah, you should be able to get the sound.
If you can walk me through how to do it, then yeah, I'll gladly play it.
Either way, I'll do this then.
The other thing you can do is just play it and put your mic on it and let us hear what you're talking about.
That's what I was just gonna do. I was just gonna turn it up a little bit and then play it and let everybody hear. I don't know if you can hear that in the background, but you should be able to. All right, this your boy Pin the Sick Human TV, and I am back. All right, everybody knows that. Can you hear it, Lincoln?
Yeah, but if you can turn it up or get a little bit closer, it'd be easier to hear it all.
One Xbox 360, etc., etc. It's because I'm a gamer.
Can you hear it now?
Have the exclusives no matter what console is on. So, I don't want to be the person who can't play a game just because, I'm more of a PlayStation person. I'm more of a PlayStation person, but only because I feel that they have the better exclusive titles and generally overall the better games. But that's debatable because that's an opinion of mine and nothing more. What I do
keep this in mind. This was from January 30th, 2014, my guy.
I've even said it on a couple.
All right.
It's just, it is what it is. Okay. Now, what am I talking about? I'm talking about this new discless Xbox One. All right. For all those people. Now, here is what I will say. I let everybody know. Now, when I say I let everybody know, check this out. I said it a long time ago. I said Microsoft, them doing that whole 180 was just to make sales. Nothing more, nothing less. They didn't care about the consumers. They didn't care what the consumers had to think about it. If they did care, they wouldn't have tried it in the first place because they knew the backlash that was going to happen over the whole DRM situation. Now, here's where it gets funny, though. Give or take, now they're coming out with this new Xbox, this new setup, so to speak, where there is no Blu-ray drive. Now, this is where it becomes a problem, okay? For all those people who actually have Blu-ray discs, who want to play Blu-ray discs, guess what? You're no longer going to have the opportunity to do that. Now, anybody who knows anything about Blu-ray, the format itself, it is unmatched. It's matched by none. You cannot get the quality of a Blu-ray from a ripped Blu-ray copy. It's just not going to happen. If you rip a Blu-ray and watch that Blu-ray via media center or something, streaming it from the computer or whatever, you're not going to get the same quality as if you were playing the actual disc. Now, who doesn't know this? You would have to be stupid to not know this. You know, I'm not a freaking avid pirate or anything like that, but I have pirated my fair share. I'll be honest. But here's the problem: everybody who was, um, everybody who wasn't pro Xbox One when they made the announcement at E3 that the Xbox was going to be a DRM box. Guess what? Now you're going to be you're trapped. You just paid $500 for a machine. You paid $500 for a machine where they can change their policies at any time. Now, here's the deal: I bought an Xbox One, and mainly I bought it for Killer Instinct. I love fighters. That's just me. Um, but here's where it gets funny. When I saw in earlier news where they were saying that Microsoft was trying to work something out where they could offer the digital downloads cheaper or whatever, I said to myself, I said, okay, they're gonna offer them cheaper. And then all of a sudden this news comes, and again, it's a rumor. It's not even confirmed 100% true. But to be honest, come on. This is gonna happen. It's going to happen. No matter what people think about it, it's going to happen. And it's going to happen exactly the way they wanted it to happen in the beginning. Now, the thing is, I'm all
Crazy part about this,
Yeah, I'm still with you. Go ahead. Ooh, I think we lost sick. Emmy, what's going on? Mr. Pyle, what is up? We was listening to a snippet from one of Sick Humor's videos. Um, AKA, let's see what up, Mr. Pump, AKA Mr. Steal your mom, AKA Mr. Steal your mom, AKA Mr. Prediction. What's up? Sick Strodamus, the prophet sick. Saku, yes, I have played Skyrim on the PlayStation VR. And I have played Rigs, but that was at the beginning of this VR generation that I played Rigs, and it gave me motion sickness. So, games like Rigs, I have to drink ginger ale before I play it. Otherwise I'll get motion sick. Phil just cut off sick. Says they're going to be some good PSVR game sales this Black Friday. Yeah, Rigs was cool, Saku. I liked it. So until we get sick back, let me so move on about this the aftermath of the E3, with Sony E3. As I was telling everybody, I believe that Sony skipped out on E3 because it's not that important. And I think they got their plate full trying to get ready for the PS5. I said it before. I treated it like, Sony's getting ready to have an open house, not to mention that they want to do it on their own stage, on their own time, and they don't have to share the stage with anybody, and they can shine. They can shine on their own. Some good points were made. At the Roundtable podcast that Thrash was saying that doing it to E3, they're doing it. They have to work around E3's time. They have to try to break their backs to hurry up and get the shit ready for E3, and they're sharing the stage with somebody. So to do it that way. To do it on their own stage where they can shine alone, hey, it is what it is. I'm cool with that. And the way I summed it up, I used the open house comparison. The PS5 is in the oven. It's almost done. Somebody's whipping up the cake frosting and getting ready to put that cake frosting on the PS5 because it's ready to come out of the oven here pretty soon. Meanwhile, the kitchen is a mess from all the developers, using pots and pans and stuff to cook the PS5. The kitchen is a mess. They got to get that kitchen cleaned up because the guests are going to be here at about 6 o'clock, you know, so they got to hurry and get the joint cleaned up. And going to E3 is just going to set them back. You know, it's not important enough to impede the presentation, the reveal of the PS5. So it's just something that they cut out. You know, they list the priorities. It was probably at the bottom, so they cut it out. That's pretty much the way I see it.
My bad, y'all. That actually wasn't Comcast, and it wasn't Phil cutting me off. I actually did that to myself. I kicked my surge protector underneath my desk, and it turned off the switch that I have connected to this computer, and it disconnected me from the internet. But I came back just so I could say I predicted this shit in 2014. And in 2014, I predicted that Microsoft was going to do exactly what they began to do in 2013. They were going to do that eventually. They were going to do exactly what they said they were going to do. So bottom line, not even just the discless Xbox, but also the fact that they were going to go back to every policy that they had previously. If you guys want to check that out, that's on my channel. It's one of my super old videos.
Why don't you put the link in the chat, because you are a moderator on this channel.
Oh, facts. I ain't even think about it. Let's see. There we go. Why in the hell did Steam pop up? No, Steam, get out of here. There we go. All right, so yeah, if you guys want to check that out, and as y'all can hear, it sounds a lot. I sound a lot different. It's funny because when I listen to it, I'm like, damn, that's how I used to sound. Fuck. I guess I was real uncomfortable back then, and my mind was all over the place at that time. Like sometimes I just cringe when I listen to myself back in the day.
I know what you mean. What video was that? Like, when did you start YouTube?
Back in 2013.
So
it wasn't just me. The channel was called Sick Humor TV, but I was just one portion of it. I wasn't the one who originally started it. I wasn't the one who originally had the idea. I was just the only one who ended up sticking with it at the end of the day.
So Sick Humor TV is an entity and not so much your YouTube name.
Yes, it is. Yep. That's why I always say this is pen of Sick Humor TV.
Oh, okay. That's interesting. So by the time you made that video, how many videos had you made at that point?
I only had a few. I only think I had like maybe 3 or 4 or something like that. It was way back when, because I started the channel around the time the console came out this generation. That's when I started the channel, which was November 2013. That video I did in January 2014.
Okay, that's cool. While we're on this subject, I want to point out to the chat that I am coming up on 400 subscribers. I'm sitting on 391 right now. And the anniversary of my first video is coming up. December 17th will be the anniversary of my first video. So whichever hits first, whether the 400 subscribers or my anniversary comes up, I'm going to do a big giveaway. So stay tuned.
Facts. Oh, and check out PSN, my nigga. Woo! See, this is the problem that I have with PlayStation and they bullshit, right? I said I wanted to get Far Cry 5. Far Cry 5 is on sale for $26. I said that I wanted to get Ni no Kuni and Yakuza Kiwami. Both of them on sale. I'm like, what the fuck? Every game is on sale, dude.
Yakuza Kiwami free at the PlayStation?
Yeah, no. Yakuza Kiwami 2.
Okay, because whichever one it is, I just went ahead and added it to my library, and I'll get to it later.
Yeah, it's a great beat 'em up game, man. You're gonna enjoy that joint. But that's why I say Sony. I don't know what they're gonna do. I don't know what their plans are. I'm hearing very good things about the PS5, but again, take all that shit with a grain of salt. To be honest with you, I ain't really as much worried about the PS5 as I am getting the rest of these games that we were promised this generation. I mean, it's cool if it's cross-gen and all of that, but nah, dog, I don't want that to be the focus of next generation. But I know, you know, I'm a small minority, you feel me? So I know y'all niggas is probably like, fuck yeah, bring on a PS5. I'm like, nah, whenever you ready. Whenever you ready, bring on the PS5. Like, I'm cool with the PS4, man, and I keep telling people, dog, like, I'm straight with the PS4 Pro. Like, I have no issues with the PlayStation as it is. And crazy enough, Lincoln, I've actually been enjoying Red Dead a bit more, dog. Didn't think it would happen, dog. I didn't think it would happen, but it really does. The game opens up. A lot of fuckery is afoot in that game.
Oh man,
It's still a piece of shit game, right?
mm-hmm.
Over 30. Dude, try over 300 games in the backlog, bro.
Oh shit.
He said over 30. Nigga, if my backlog was just 30, I'd be cool. I'd be like, shit, that's what's up. But
I probably say between the VR games and standard games, I probably got around 200 games on my PlayStation, and I probably say about 180 of them is backlog games.
yeah, it's serious, dog. Like, cause okay, so I have a problem, right? Where when I start a game, I like to finish the game that I started, but I always go and end up buying games because I be wanting to catch them on sale.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I say Sony is very detrimental, but I love it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Sony's giving people a good problem to have. You overloaded with games.
facts, without a doubt. Without a doubt. Like, I can't complain. Niggas can complain all they want. I can't complain, bro. I got games to play for days. I got games I got to catch up on. Like, I still got to catch up on Far Cry 5. I still got to catch up on Far Cry Primal. I'm just waiting for Far Cry Primal to go on sale for like $10. Ooh, Return to Arkham, the Batman game, is $5 for both of the games, for Arkham City and Arkham Asylum. I don't know if it come with Origins.
Okay.
But that's a good price for those games, dog.
Oh man, don't go there because I'm hoping that if they don't do it before this generation is up, I'm hoping they'll do it next generation and give us the next installment of Batman Arkham VR.
Yo, Mr. Payo, I actually like Arkham Asylum better than Arkham City. I really do. J-Dog, thank you for telling me that, because I'd rather have the physical copy anyway. And since it's going to be $20 at Best Buy, I guess I'll wait till Black Friday.
See, people don't know. A lot of people don't know that Arkham City is a continuation of an episode of Batman, the animated series. Remember Batman, the animated series that used to come on Fox?
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah. Yeah.
There was an episode where Dr. Hugo Strange was pretending to be a psychiatrist. So people would come sit on a couch and reveal all their shit to him. But what it was is he had them, they didn't know that they was hooked up to a machine that was displaying their thoughts. So he was, finding out all their dirty laundry and then blackmailing them. And so when Batman learned about what he was doing, he said he figured something's not right about this Hugo Strange. So I'm going to find out what the deal is. So he went to go see him as Bruce Wayne. And, Hugo Strange was breaking him down and was asking him questions about his childhood, asking him questions about his parents getting murdered and shit, and Bruce Wayne was trying not to get mad, but he was like, I was just a child. There was nothing I could do. And he could see the anger building up. And he was like, you wanted to do something. He was like, something filled you. You felt like you had to do something. What was it? And he was like, I wanted revenge. And they saw that bat signal. They saw that bat signal right there. He found out he was Batman. So when Bruce Wayne,
I never knew that.
Yeah. So when Bruce Wayne found out about the machine and found out that it could see his thoughts, he put himself back on that machine and created a tape. Because what happened was after Hugo Strange found out who he was, he made a recording of the tape. And he was going to sell it at an auction to the Joker, the Two-Face, and the Penguin. He had an auction. At one point, he had these dudes up to $55 million, ready to pay for that tape to find out who Batman was. But Batman put the other tape in, and then it made it look like Hugo Strange was trying to fuck him over and shit. And then Batman destroyed the machine. So you know, Batman was able to keep his identity a secret, but Hugo Strange still knew who he was. You know, so Arkham City is a continuation of that episode.
Okay.
Because um, because Arkham City does not tell you how Hugo Strange knows that he's Batman. Because if you play the game, Hugo Strange knows that he's Batman, but Hugo Strange had a much bigger plan in mind, and he figured, Batman running around, beating up petty crooks was, just unimportant to him.
Right. Hey, I got a quick question for everybody that's in the chat. Do any of y'all have Battle Royale, all PlayStation All Stars Battle Royale on the PS3 or either the Vita?
No, is this a Battle Royale game?
Nah, it's like Smash. It's like a Smash Brothers clone. But they've PlayStation extended the server closure. Like they were gonna close the servers, I think back in October or some shit like that. But they decided to wait until like January of 2019. And I have one more online trophy to get to have the platinum in that game.
Is the Vita version of this game online?
It is, yeah.
Okay. I do have a Vita and basically never used it for the most part. It's just a little bit here and there.
You know what? I gotta buy another memory card. Because the memory card that I have is just not enough, dog. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get the biggest memory card that they have, and I'm gonna fill it up with every game because on my Vita, I have all of my PlayStation Classic games on there. You know what I'm saying? So all of my PS1 games and shit, because believe it or not, PlayStation gave away a ton of classic games. They gave away Resident Evil 1 through 3. They gave away Crash Bandicoot 1 through Crash Team Racing. They gave away Jet Moto. They gave away Final Fantasy 7. Man, they gave away a ton of fucking classic games, man. That was their initiative when they first started like PlayStation Plus. And me, I used to just add shit to my library. I'm like, dude, if I never play it, I never play it. But I add it to my library anyway. So when they do take it away, I still have it there. I could always go back and download it. But I need to get the platinum in that PlayStation All-Star Battle Royale. Whether it's PS3 or Vita, it don't really matter. I just got to finish that. I'm going to tell you the type of nut I am, right? They closed down the servers for Batman Arkham Origins, right? But before they closed down the servers to Batman Arkham Origins, I got with like me and like fucking 10 other people from like PlayStationTrophies.com or PlayStationTrophies.org. And we fucking got all the online trophies before they closed down the servers. I was like, shit, I could always go back and get the single player stuff. But dog, that's how bad I am. That's how fucking terrible I am when it comes to this shit. So I was looking at it like, as far as the single player go, I can always go back and get those trophies whenever. But this online shit, that's why I hate online games, dog. Like when they shut down the server, that's it, bro. It's like the game never existed. I already did fine.
Let me see here. I want to if you don't mind, I want to talk a little bit about the Sony aftermath of the E3 aftermath, because
there was an aftermath.
I'm talking about like all the channels, what people had to say, because
it just shows how important Sony is. The thing is, I always knew how important Sony was, Lincoln, but they just proved how important Sony is. And the way they proved how important Sony is that for a system that you claim to don't give a fuck about, that got terrible games, that got ugly looking games and shit like that, why do you even care? You should be looking at this as like, this is an automatic W for Microsoft. The only thing is, Microsoft usually goes off of Sony's hype. And now they don't have Sony to play off of Sony's hype. So now whoever tunes into that bullshit is just gonna tune in. Most people not, because let's keep it real. Nobody gives a fuck about Xbox, dog. Nobody does. You got people who are fake neutrals, is what I call them, you know, they want to play like, hey, you know, I want to have everything. I want to have all the consoles and shit like that. When in reality, you had to force yourself. You had to force yourself into buying an Xbox. That's kind of bad, dog.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of bad.
And you know, the last couple of days, putting it bluntly, the PlayStation community don't seem to be bothered by, you know, Sony not being at E3. All the negative shit about them not being there is coming from the Xbox side. And all the shit and all the narratives that's going around is just absolutely crazy. You know, saying that, you know, Sony, you know, not going because they trying to save money. Oh, they going broke, you know, that kind of shit. And oh, they have no games, they have nothing to show, all kinds of shit.
That's a great narrative, especially coming from people who tried to praise Xbox, what that shit was, XO18.
Yeah.
Come on, let's be honest. That shit was trash. You know it's trash when you have diehard Xbox fans like, yo, yeah, that shit was trash. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not even just Sony people saying the shit was trash. It was trash. Now, if you think Sony is broke, let me just fill you in on some details real quick, right? First and foremost, Sony got over 50 games that have not been released that are exclusive games to the PlayStation platform, right? So the main things, though, you know, the big AAA big budget games that we all know about, that's what? Death Stranding, Days Gone, Ghost of Tsushima, Last of Us 2, right? Those are the big heavy hitters, right? But then you still have the smaller titles like Concrete Genie. You know, you have the ambitious titles like Dreams. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You still have a whole bunch of unannounced games from other developers. You got Supermassive working on games. You got Square Enix working on games, right? Square Enix is also releasing another game that's exclusive to PC and PlayStation. I forgot what the name of the game is. It slipped my mind. But if I go through the names, I mean, you got the Project Awakening. You know what I'm saying? Some shit that was shown, but we still have no idea what the fuck it is. It just kind of looks like a split between Monster Hunter and fucking Scalebound. You know what I'm saying? But there's a ton of games that they have to show. See, here's the thing. What you have to realize, though, and Thrash made a very great point when he said this, right? It costs money to do E3, right? And now E3 is open to the general public. So any amount of fuck niggas that want to come in and go to that shit, they can. You know what I'm saying? And PlayStation has to accommodate that shit. You know what I'm saying? It's not like it was previously where it was mainly for the press and then the press trickle shit down to the consumers and then the consumers watch the streams on, you know, on Twitch or whatever platform they're looking at it on. It's not like that no more. And the crazy thing about it is people knowing that Sony is there is actually generating revenue for E3, but Sony isn't making any money off of that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yes, he made an excellent point saying that they got to pay for it too.
Right. Yes, it's advertisement, right? And it's advertisement for their upcoming games and shit like that. But at the same time, just look at it for what it is. You're influencing people to spend money at this event, but you're not getting any cut of that money that's coming from that event. Now, the weird part about it is people don't realize that Microsoft pulled out of E3 as well. They don't do E3 at the E3 Convention Center. They do E3 at now what their Microsoft theaters and shit like that.
Yeah.
And that's something that they own. You know what I'm saying? And it probably just seemed like a smart move. Like shit.
It was a really smart move because it probably saved them millions of dollars because I can't remember who said it. And, you know, it might have been Thrash who might have brought it up, but somebody pointed out that at an E3, whoever it was, rented out like 600 square feet worth of space, and it was costing them $600 a day. No, $10,000 a day. And Sony was renting out like 60,000 square feet.
So more than likely, it was costing them either 100,000 or close to $1 million for them to be doing the shit that they doing because they doing it on a bigger platform. And another thing that you have to realize is Sony didn't really have space like that. Like we saw what they did last E3. Yeah, it seemed like, oh, you know, they were just putting together a great show, you know, to put people inside the games and shit like that. But let's be realistic, dog. They were outside in fucking tents. Like if you just break it down and look at it for what it is, nigga, like their fans were inconvenienced due to lack of space. And they were sharing space with other people such as EA and you know the rest of the motherfuckers, because I think EA was using the same section that they were using, and then EA had to get their shit broken down, and then PlayStation built their stuff. Like it was just it seemed like more of an inconvenience than anything. Now here's the thing, this is where I would be pissed, right? This is where I would be a little upset. I would be a little upset if we had nothing in the pipeline. You know what I'm saying? If we were sitting here since 2014, 2015, like the Xbox dudes, oh, I'd definitely be worried. I'd be like, yo, what the fuck is going on, Sony nigga? Are y'all niggas about to shut down shop? You know what I'm saying? Because y'all ain't showing us shit. And now y'all telling us y'all pulling out of the biggest event ever. But when you already know what's coming, think about it. Think about it. Sony has more games coming than Microsoft has announced in the last couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
So look at that shit for what it is. And not only that, Sony has given me reason to have faith. And this ain't no damage control. This just me being honest. Sony has given me a reason to put my faith and my trust in what they're doing. Why? Because they have delivered on all fronts since fucking 2014. You know what I'm saying? Since Bloodborne came out, since the Order 1886 came out. You know what I'm saying? When they started dropping those fucking bangers, when they started dropping those hits, it all made sense. And then when they really got to chugging and shit like that and start putting out shit like Horizon Zero Dawn, like don't get me wrong, I think I'm in a minority when I say this, but I like Killzone. You know what I'm saying?
I do too. Killzone 2 is one of my all-time favorite games.
Yeah, they can say what they want to say about Killzone because, again, they're going to try to bash anything because in order to prop up Microsoft, you have to put something else down. Microsoft don't stand on its own merits. So when I say I like Killzone, they'll be like, nah, nigga, Halo is way better than that shit. You know what I'm saying? That's how you feel. Okay, I'm not going to argue that. But at the end of the day, dog, let's be honest, bro. I would play Killzone over Halo any fucking day. Any goddamn day. I mean, people don't realize when they were playing Halo, and I realized this shit when I finally went back and played the Master Chief Collection. Halo was the biggest goddamn ripoff story-wise that I've ever seen in my fucking life.
Mm-hmm.
They make you go through about 8 levels, and then they have you backtrack through those same fucking 8 levels, my nigga.
Mm-hmm. Now, I want to ask a quick question about the Halo thing, and then I want to and then your testimony right there further makes my point and further solidifies why I believe the race for 2019 is on. So I'll start with the Halo question. I've owned pretty much all of the Halos, I think, except for Halo Reach and the Halo Wars, because I wasn't interested in either of those. But Halo 1, 2, 3.
Right.
And what's the current Halo out right now? The reason that came out in 2015 or whatever. What was that? Halo 5, whatever. Anyway, in any of those campaigns, has Master Chief ever taken his helmet off? Does anybody know what he looks like?
No, but here's what I've heard, right? And this from people who really love Halo. They said that is part of the magic. You know what I mean? Because you can look at Master Chief as an extension of yourself because you've never seen his face. It's just you inside the armor. You know what I'm saying? And that's how they feel about it. I can't say they're wrong, dog. And I'm not going to say that they're wrong. If that's how they feel, that's how they feel. But I get what they're saying. I get where they're coming from. I get where they're coming from by saying that, you know, it's part of the magic. I mean,
well, it's a helmet. It's a helmet with nothing, you know. Just
right.
a helmet. There's a globe in the face. You know, the helmet has a mirror shield, a mirror globe in the face. So you have no idea what this dude looks like. You know, at least with you know, at least with like Batman.
No. He did take off the helmet. I'm almost sure he took off the helmet at the end of 1.
Okay, that's what I was saying. That you at least know what he looks like. Okay, I'm cool with that.
Am I tripping? Didn't he take it off at the end of part 1 when he was talking to Cortana?
I have no idea. That's why I was asking you that, because I've never really I think Halo 3 is the only one that I even attempted to play a campaign on, and I was doing a co-op with some friends. But other than that, I've never really played any of the Halo campaigns.
Nah, the Halo campaign for Halo 1 was okay. It was kind of, again, when you realize that you was running through levels and then running back through those levels in reverse, I was like, that's some lazy ass shit right there, dog. That is some lazy ass shit. But then again, hey, it's not for me. It's not meant for me. It's meant for the people that really love that franchise. And I'm not one of those. I'm not one of those individuals. So
Yeah.
I ain't gonna knock it. But then again, I ain't gonna praise it at the same time. As far as the online, I've never really been a fan of Halo Online.
I think I'm not gonna lie. I think Halo 2 was one of the funnest online games I ever played. I was having so much fun playing Halo 2. I'm not gonna lie. That's the magic that was on the original Xbox. Not because I think that's when they had some of the best exclusives. They had a lot of exclusives back then. But anyway, let me sweep that to the side. Let's talk about what you just said about Halo, about Sony, about you having faith in Sony. They've given you reason to have faith in them. You just right there, you just solidified what I have been trying to say. I said this next generation is over before it starts. Based on customer loyalty, based on customer satisfaction, the score is already 80 million Sony, 30 million Xbox.
Well, look at it for what it is, right? What gripes, what real gripes do you have with Sony and what they've done this generation? Like, seriously, just being honest. Ask yourself that question. Ask yourself, as a consumer, what did Sony do to make me say I'm not looking forward for the next PlayStation? If you ask me, I feel like they went out of their way to bring great experiences. They didn't depend on multiplats. Yes, they gave you multiplats. They gave you all the goddamn multiplats. And matter of fact, they even gave you multiplats with exclusive content. You know what I'm saying? But they literally went out of their way to say, hey, here's your multiplats, but nigga, I want to give you the main dish as well. I want to show you why you come to PlayStation and why PlayStation is the best place to play. Right? This is the reason why PlayStation is the best place to play, because PlayStation is the only place you're going to get The Order. It's the only place you're going to get Bloodborne. It's the only place you're going to get Horizon Zero Dawn. It's the only place you're going to get Spider-Man for now. It's the only place you're going to get God of War. It's the only place that you're going to get The Last of Us. It's the only place you're going to get Uncharted. It's the only place you're going to be able to get these titles. Believe it or not, knowing that titles go to other platforms, that shit makes it that much less worth it. You know what I'm saying? Most of the people who I know who were diehard Xbox fans, they have bought a PC. They bought a PC because they looked at it for what it was. Shit, if you don't care about your console, why the fuck should I, when all of your games gonna come to this console anyway? You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I feel like Microsoft is just pushing their consumers over the PC, but I think that's the master plan. The master plan is to not have to make this hardware anymore. That's the master plan. So if I get you acclimated to this PC life, right? If I get you into this PC life, then we can say, hey, we're going to bring the software to the Xbox app, right? And maybe that's how they'll do their exclusives, right? We'll bring the exclusive games to the Xbox app. And at the same time, if somebody else want to play it on another device, they can sign up for our streaming service and stream our games. Because let's be real, Sony made a lot of sense by not putting their games natively on PC. That would have only devalued the actual content that they brought to the PlayStation 4. Let's be honest. And people were crying and crying and crying, saying, oh, but that means it's not exclusive. Okay, so how are you playing this game? Oh, you're streaming it? Oh, okay. All right. Did you install this game to your hard drive on your PC? Oh, no? But you can still play it, because see, that's the mind share, or the mind frame that people are in. As long as I can play it, then it's not exclusive to that platform. Okay, well, can you install it? Can you uninstall it? Can you run it natively? Can you change settings? Oh no? Well, guess what? That shit is still exclusive to the PlayStation. You're streaming it from a PlayStation, dog. That's what it is. And I still stick by that. I've heard the arguments, right? If I could play it, then it's no longer exclusive. Okay, if that's how you feel, You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, let's be real with yourself. Are you playing that game natively on your PC? Fuck no, you're not. First of all, you have to pay Sony for the service. Then you have to download their application. And then it has to load up from the PlayStation 4s in the fucking cloud somewhere. So great. If you feel like that shit ain't exclusive no more, whatever floats your boat, my nigga, keep playing in 720p, my guy.
Mm-hmm.
It is what it is, bro.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the only place to get Jack and Daxter, the only place to get Sly Cooper, Ratchet and Clank, the only place in the console space to get VR and great VR.
Yeah.
So I mean, what can I say? Why would I even be mad at Sony? I'm not mad at Sony. Yeah, that shit sounds like a jet engine, right?
Well, you know what? You know what? Jack Trenton, a couple of years ago, I think it was back in 2015, maybe 2000.
Oh, before he left, right?
Yeah, when he was still, when he was still working for Sony.
Right.
He said something that I felt like was one of the most honest things I ever heard an executive say.
Mm-hmm.
He was doing an interview and someone asked him a question. And he said at Sony, he said, yeah, we're trying to make money just like, anybody else, but we're trying to give you value for your money.
Facts. And listen, I agree with Sony when they said EA Access was bullshit. Let me tell you why. The way I feel is EA tried to devalue games that are on the Sony platform. They already did it on the Microsoft platform. Let's be honest. Niggas is like, I'm just gonna subscribe to EA Access. But the thing is, the bulk of that money goes to whom?
To EA. And it kills copy sales. Whether it be digital or whether it be, whether it be physical or digital, it kills sales if you let the subscription service be on the platform.
Right. And here's the problem with the way people are thinking. It's not about Sony and Sony making money. It's about bringing cheap shit to the consumers. No, nigga. In order for us to keep getting this shit, we have to support the company. You have to support the companies that you like. Monetarily, listen, you have nothing. You have no attachment to any of these corporations, right? But let's be honest. If a business is to thrive, you have to support said business. When it comes to Fortnite, right? People have to buy those bullshit ass V-Bucks, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's how they're supporting Fortnite, right? In order for people to PUBG, they have to buy whatever the fucking I don't know. PUBG is trash. But with any game, with anything being offered, you have to give that platform holder a reason to grow their platform. If they're not making any money, if they're being undercut by the people that they're helping succeed, how are they going to grow the brand? That's the question that I want to ask everybody who's going to call me a Sony pony and a corporate slave. How in the hell do you figure the brand to grow if you feel like you don't want to provide any money for the stuff that they're offering?
A couple of things. First of all, you coming through sound like you coming through a little bit staticky. I'm not sure what's going on.
It's Google Chrome. I know what it is.
Okay.
I would have to switch over to EA.
You sound great. The other thing is, you talk about, supporting the brand, monetarily. See, I think that's the difference between Sony and Microsoft. You're not going out and buying a Sony game because you feel like you got to support this company. You're going out and buying the game because it's quality content. A lot of people out there know State of Decay is garbage and know Sea of Thieves is garbage, but they still buying this shit to try to support this company. And to me, that's one-sided. Y'all giving this money to your company to support them, but they gave y'all garbage. To me, like, a game like Spider-Man, to me, that is a happy trade. You gave them your money for the game and they gave you a great game. So, I mean, that's got to go hand in hand, So with that being said, that's kind of a catch-22. I get what you're saying about supporting the company monetarily, but that company got to deliver great content too.
For sure. And like I said,
so people will want to give you their money instead of giving it to you because they want you to stay afloat.
Oh, no. Absolutely. It's not about them staying afloat. What I'm saying is you have to give to get.
Yeah.
That's all to it. Like Sony ain't finna be fucking subsidizing your entertainment. You know what I'm saying? And do you really want Sony to subsidize your entertainment? That's why I said if a PlayStation comes out and they provide something that shows a vision, and I agree with that vision, I don't mind paying $500 for the next console. Mm-hmm. Hell, might even pay as much as $600. But again, let's not even go that far. But let's just say 500, since that's something that has become sort of normalized at this point. If they came out with a console for $500, I would have no problems. You know why? Because they've showed me this generation that they're going to put that $500 to use. Mm-hmm. I've bought 3 PlayStation Pros, and guess what? I have no regrets about either one of the motherfuckers. Like I said, sometimes that bitch sound like it want to take off and, you know, fly fresh out the fucking window like that. And that's cool. And that's cool. But as long as my game is not being affected by that shit, then I'm good. Then I'm good. I ain't got nothing to cry about. You know what I'm saying? Like I've been happy this entire generation. The only time I haven't been happy, and this is gonna sound weird as fuck, is when I bought the Xbox, bro. That's the only time I haven't been happy. That's the only time when I've been playing a console or using a console and saying to myself, why the fuck did I buy this shit? That's the only time. And again, this ain't just to throw shots at Microsoft. I'm being 1000% honest. I can't lie to myself and be like, I bought this shit just to play multiplats, my nigga. Because that's a lie. That's the fucking lie. Nobody buys a console just to fucking play multiplats. And then you say I bought it because they said that they were going to bring the best multiplats. Nigga, they told you they couldn't even remember to connect, but you mean to tell me you believe them when they said they was going to bring the best multiplats? Come on, dog. Let's be real. That's why I called the bullshit on everybody who said that nonsense, talking about, oh, well, I knew what I was getting myself. Get the fuck out of here. Who buys a console to play games that's available everywhere, nigga? Nobody.
Yeah, you getting staticky on us again. But let me respond to a couple of people in the chat. And competitive, how you doing? What's up, Vidiot? Where is it at? Who was it? EJ Johnson. You answered one of the questions out there. Whoever it was in the comment section that said that third-party developers may try to devalue the PlayStation. I don't agree with that. I think the only third-party developers that may try to devalue the PlayStation are the ones that is in Microsoft pocket. Because all the other developers is like truly neutral. The majority of the games are going to sell on the PlayStation this generation and probably next generation. So, if anything, these third-party developers might get criticized for catering to PlayStation, for building games, cater to the PlayStation and then port it back to the Xbox. That might, they might draw criticism for that for all we know. I mean, it's somewhat going on right now. So, but one thing before we get out of here, because I got about 20 minutes. You still with me, Sick? I lost him for a second. Let me go check the. Oh, we lost him. But okay, but one of the big things that I wanted to talk about was some of the ridiculous narratives that's been going around in the aftermath of the Sony E3 from them pulling out. The ridiculous shit that I've been hearing, like Sony's broke, that they got no games to show, this, that, and the third. On the thing about them being broke, this is a this is $1 billion company. Come on now, the money that they pay to be at E3 is pennies on the dollar. Now, I will agree with what Thrash said. When Thrash said that they wasn't going there to save money, I thought to myself, this company makes so much goddamn money. If Sick got lost in Wakanda, Players United, my guards will find him. Fear not. But back to what I was saying, when Thrash said that they did it to save money, at first, I didn't think it was ridiculous, but I was thinking to myself, they're like, hey, this is $1 billion company. The money that they spend to go to E3 is a drop in the bucket. But then when Thrash broke it down, it was like, this is how much they pay for this. This is how much they pay for that. Basically Sony's the star of E3, and you making them pay to be there, and then you trying to capitalize on them being there by charging the customers. So Thrash, believes that E3 got too greedy, and now that Sony pulled out, it's gonna probably break their fucking back. What's gonna be there to see now? So I thought that was a ridiculous narrative of people say that Sony was broke. That's absolutely ridiculous. I do agree with Thrash's, philosophy that they pulled out to save money, because it will save them some money, and that money could be directed towards their own presentations of the PS5, their own show. I don't think that's the sole reason why they pulled out. But one of the most ridiculous narratives, just like absolutely incredible, is this stupid shit with the Xbox. Basically, when XO came along, a lot of the Xbox damage control, they wouldn't admit how shitty that thing really was, because it was shitty. And someone was like, "Oh, it wasn't that bad. They made some studio announcements that was huge." These bootleg developers that they picked up. And then now that Sony's pulling out of E3, the Xbox act like the Sony community owe them something. They act like, well, we acknowledge that the XO was trash. Now you have to be fair and acknowledge that Sony not being at E3 is bullshit, and they're going broke. You have to be fair. You have to acknowledge that. Get the fuck out of here with that. I mean, they crack me up every time Microsoft fucks up, and then Sony turns around and does something controversial. The Xbox act like, okay, we acknowledge that Microsoft fucked up. Now you have to be fair and not acknowledge that Sony's fucked up.
They never acknowledge that Microsoft fucked up.
There's magnitudes to fuck it up. Here's the difference between Sony's fuck ups and Microsoft's fucked up. Microsoft is a car that ran a red light and caused a multi-car crash, at an intersection. They tore up about 5 cars, got in this wreck. People went to the fucking hospital, and then they damage controlled it. And it was like, well, there's only 2 people in critical conditions, and everybody else came out of it all right. They're damage controllers. But if Sony, goes up on the curb and runs over a stop sign, then they want to try to make it seem like the 2 accidents are the same. No, they're not.
Are you going to the store?
In the Sony accident, they just ran over a stop sign. But they want, but the Xbox wants you to admit that Sony, did a bunch of shit and endangered a bunch of people and all kinds of other shit. But they won't acknowledge the wreck that they caused. Some people got seriously hurt. Some people in the hospital. They want to try. You know what I mean? It's really stupid.
Hey, yo, Lincoln, can you hear me?
Yep, loud and clear.
Am I still chopping up?
Well, coming through loud and clear. I heard you when you came back in, but I wanted to try to get my point.
No. I came back just to tell you I'm about to get up out of here because I got to go take a bath, and then I'm going to this. I'm going to the store. I told you I was just coming through to slide through real quick and then dip out real quick. But if anything, you know what I'm saying. If I end up doing the stream later, I'll definitely send you a link if you're available or whatever the case may be. But I do appreciate you allowing me to come on your platform, sir.
And Wakanda's open. You know Wakanda's always open.
He said Wakanda. Hey, shout out to the chat, man. Everybody in the chat, man. I'm getting the hell up out of here, man. It's been real. Deuces.
All right, my guard. We'll show you back to your ship. Thanks for coming over, my man.
You know what's up? You know what's crazy though? I told you I know exactly. Yo, Microsoft is doing something to Google, dog. Microsoft is doing something to Google where Google Chrome and Firefox, they work like complete shit. But if I use Internet Explorer, which we all know is super duper trash, everything works fine.
So with that being said, before you get out of here, back during the PS3 generation, you remember when PlayStation Network got hacked and they was down for about a month?
They was down for like a month or 2. Yeah.
Okay. I find it a coincidence. During the 360 generation, the 360 started out kicking the PS3 ass. They had a 1-year head start. The console was $200 cheaper. Then after a couple of years, when the price came down of the PS3, they started getting games. Sales started picking up. And then for like about a month, I saw charts where the sales of the PS3 was identical to sales of the 360. And all of a sudden, PSN gets hacked. They're down for about a month. And now Xbox beating their chest talking about, Xbox Live is more secure and all that shit. I find that to be a coincidence that they got hacked when their sales was on the rise.
Well, here's the thing. I believe.
And then Christmas of 2013, when both consoles launched, when Lizard Squad took them down. My belief was that Microsoft hired Lizard Squad to take down both platforms, and the reason why they had Lizard Squad take down Xbox Live as well is so they don't get accused of sabotage. Because I believe Microsoft sabotaged Sony during the PS3 generation when the PlayStation Network was down for about a month. It happened right at the time that Sony sales were on the rise, and they were matching up with 360 sales blow by blow. And here come Microsoft making a statement right after they got knocked down. Our network is more secure.
Well, again, like I told you, in order for Microsoft to be successful, they're not successful based off of the merits of what they offer. They're successful based on how they can shit on the competition. You know what I'm saying? They don't stand on their own 2 feet like men. You know what I'm saying? Nobody goes to the Xbox because they just think it's better. You know what I mean? It's more or less perception and what they put in the air. You know what I'm saying? Why you think all of these Xbox, you hear Xbots, you hear them repeat the same rhetoric. They all say the same shit. It's almost like they have bullet points of what they need to hit in an argument. Oh, we love services. Who the fuck started that? Who started that narrative? Who loves for people to sell them shit? Please tell me who loves to pay for shit that they will never own. Who does that? No, but Microsoft learned how to control the narrative. Same thing with the online. Everybody says this is a superior network, and then you ask them, okay, so where's your proof? All they do is revert back to what happened in 2010. They revert to back to what happened in 2010. And like you said, right after that happened, who came out and made a statement saying that their network was more secure? Now, what they failed to mention is all the accounts that got hacked on Microsoft side. They failed to mention that specific information. You know what I'm saying? And again, Sony's network did not go down simply because they got hacked and they just couldn't get their shit back up. No, they bought in the FBI, they bought in the NSA, they bought in mad motherfuckers to come and rebuild their infrastructure. That's why it took so long for them to come back up. They could have bought it right back up, but then it would have went right back down.
Mm-hmm.
So would that have made sense? No. Am I gonna sit up here and say I wasn't pissed for that month that it was down? Oh, fuck yes, I was pissed. I was fucking pissed. Even though the service was free, I was still pissed, dog.
I wasn't pissed because I believe Microsoft did it right from the start. I believe Microsoft sabotaged them right from the start. So my thought was that, okay, Sony gonna learn a lesson from this shit. They're gonna strengthen that infrastructure so it doesn't happen again. So I wasn't upset with Sony, and then Sony, tried to make it right when it came back up because they gave everybody 2 games. They gave everybody Infamous, and they gave everybody, I think, Dead Nation, where you can just go straight to the PlayStation Store and download them.
They gave out like 3 games. They gave out Little Big Planet. I'll never forget that shit because I remember they gave me Little Big Planet for free. They gave away Infamous, and you could choose something else. They gave away like 3 games, and that's what actually sparked the PlayStation Plus movement. You know what I'm saying? Where you get the free games, every month or whatever, because they saw that people enjoyed having the free games. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is.
Of course, Vidiot, I think Microsoft could have done that without being caught, because Microsoft has a huge influence on the media, and not only that, they got enough. Their pockets is deep enough that they can pay everybody to keep their mouth shut. And then not only that, if they paid an organization like Lizard Squad or something like that, and they came out and say, "Yeah, Microsoft paid us," it might make the trail a little bit easier to follow and find out who they are.
Well, here's the thing. In the realm of putting on a tinfoil hat, I would say, yeah, that's a possibility, but corporate espionage is always a possibility. You know what I'm saying? It's always a real factor. You know what I'm saying? Just like certain people think that Phil Spencer came in there, you know what I'm saying, as some type of agent for Sony and shit like that. Is that a possibility? It could be a possibility. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? Do I think it's a possibility? Fuck no. Phil Spencer has worked for Microsoft for years. You know what I'm saying? It's not like he's a newfound person at that fucking place. But is it a possibility? Sure, it's a possibility. Do I think that Microsoft hacked them? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. I don't even really care. What I do know is that hackers have come out and said that it's harder to take down PSN than it is Xbox Live. And we found that to be very true this generation because Microsoft has been down a lot. A lot. And again, I'm not sure if it's due to maintenance because maybe it's maintenance. Maybe nobody's actually taking their servers down. Maybe it's just Microsoft doing maintenance and they're taking their own shit offline. But then again, you know, that many times, I think they went down over 20 times. You know what I'm saying? In 1 year, like this shit was crazy, dog.
And Microsoft strikes me as the type of company that, you know, people like a Lizard Squad or something like that that's capable of taking down somebody's shit. I can see Microsoft hiring them.
Nah, them niggas from Lizard Squad was a dud, bruh. Them niggas was a dud, bruh.
Using general as a general example.
No, I get what you're saying. No, I get
corporate espionage. I think, you know, I think that still goes on. I think these companies have to constantly watch their network because the competition is probably trying to find a way to destroy their network.
And that's anywhere. That's anywhere, dude. Like, okay, let me break something down to you. Calls, right? Like where I work at, you know what I'm saying? It's like we're constantly watching network traffic, constantly watching. We're constantly looking for anomalies in the traffic. You know what I'm saying? We're constantly looking for things that don't make any type of sense, right? So what was crazy is, like, I don't know what the fuck was going on, but like I said, I work for a big corporate government entity. That's the most that I could fucking say about that. But what happened is somebody, you know, I don't know how the fuck they did it, to be honest with you. I can't even begin to tell you how they did this. But they had a whole bunch of fucking Estee Lauder. I don't even know what the fuck that is. What the fuck is Estee Lauder? I don't even know what Estee Lauder is. But they had a whole bunch of people calling randomly to random phones at the place where I work. And they was asking for some Estee Lauder shit. And I was like, they were like, hey, we have to figure out what the fuck is going on because dog, when I say heavy traffic was being rerouted for absolutely no fucking reason. You know what I'm saying? And clearly there was a reason. But you know what I'm saying? Once we figured out what was happening and which pipeline it was coming through and shit like that, you know, we got in contact with the telecom, you know, the people who manage the telecom systems and shit like that. And I'm probably giving y'all way too much information right now anyway. But what I will say is, like, it's definitely a real thing. Like companies are always constantly under attack, especially in the digital age, man. So it's not far-fetched at all, dog. It is definitely not far-fetched at all. But again, do I think Microsoft is doing any of this? I don't know, dog. Like, I really don't. I can't even really begin to blame them because I just don't know. But, you know, if you put 2 and 2 together in this situation, you could easily get 4. That's all I can say about that.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Looks like my friend, I got to get ready to get on down the rock. I just got a message that they're on the way, so I got to go meet up with them. But I do want to acknowledge a couple of people that I saw pop in here. J-Dub, what is up? Craig Harris. No, this isn't Mass Effect. But if you
this is Mass Effect.
But if you drinking your Kentucky, whatever, you get your shot of Kentucky. Hey, but I gotta get ready to take off, y'all. But I'm sure, you know, I'm gonna do something today. It's Saturday. I gotta enjoy the rest of my weekend, whether I join Sick in another podcast later on today, whether I stream something. I'm definitely gonna do something. So definitely keep your eye open for me. Keep your eye open for Sick Humor. You know, hopefully we can hook up later on today. Now, I want to thank him for popping by Wakanda for a moment.
Oh, for sure. It was my pleasure, bro.
Definitely. So, Uncle Bumpy, you know what's up. We'll catch y'all later. But all right, y'all, I got to get on down the rock. I want to thank y'all for coming to Wakanda. Y'all know the drill. Give it a like. You know, lock the door on your way out, and I will catch y'all later.
Yeah. I'm out of here, Lincoln. I got to go take a bath, bro, and get up out of here, bro.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Yep.